So, hello everyone. Welcome back to my channel. Listen, your girl has been gone for a minute, but she's back with the jump off. No, but seriously, like I was supposed to be vlogging every month, and of course, that didn't happen because life got in the way. But I want to update you all on my PhD journey. I also want to update you all on just what's been going on. So, first of all, I want to start by saying that I had recorded 25 minutes using a different app that I'm not on right now. And when I went back to play it, I did not connect I was using my webcam microphone, which is non-existent. So all my audio is distorted. So I'm going to try to cover the same thing I did in the original video because the original video was so good, but that's okay. Okay. So for starters, from the last time you all saw me, I've gone through spring semester, summer, and my last fall semester at my college. So oh man, it's been so busy. For starters, I've been traveling quite a bit for work. I have traveled to Los Angeles, Pittsburgh, Mississippi. Um, I traveled to Jacksonville tomorrow and Charleston. So this month I've traveled quite a bit for work because our back to school at my company in Georgia is a bit slower this year. So I've had to travel and to work and make money. So it's been pretty cool, but the traveling has really worn me down. Like right now, I'm just so happy to have a few days home. In addition, my charter school, whose board I'm on, shout out to them. We opened up this fall with kindergarten through fourth grade. So I volunteered there a couple of days since the first day of school and really have been trying to be as active as possible, being secretary of our board and having a awesome inaugural school year. One thing that I did do this summer is that I traveled. I traveled for work and I traveled for vacation because I told myself my last year of my PhD that I would actually get back to traveling, which I started in 2019 and then COVID hit. So I went to Tulum, Mexico, which was literally like the best trip ever. 10 out of 10, loved it. And if you go, don't stay on a resort. Like, really be in Tulum, like me and my friend Jordan were. We had an awesome time. And then I went to Detroit for a family reunion, which was really nice. And then for work, I traveled to Las Vegas and then I traveled to Greensboro, North Carolina, which anytime there's a work trip, there's always time to enjoy myself. So I went a lot of places this summer on vacation. I was so happy I did. I have a lot of really good experiences and I racked up a ton of Sky Miles through Delta Airlines. So yes, your girl is a silver medallion elite member, almost to gold. So I'm excited about that. So a lot of traveling, which has caused me to really be busy, very busy. So when we talk about my school side and PhD, I'm in my last year, y'all. So I'm in the home stretch. I'm working on my proposal. I finished chapter 1. I have a draft of chapter 3 I'm editing now, and I have about 50% of chapter 2 done. So uh, I think I will defend my proposal. Earliest is mid-September, latest is the end. Hopefully I can get into my school district to collect my data. So let's talk about my topic. My topic, I think, has probably shifted from January when I made my initial video. What I'll be doing is looking at how elementary mathematics specialists and coaches conceptualize culturally affirming pedagogies within their coaching practices. So what that means is that I will be doing a case study where I look at maximum 4 elementary mathematics coaches or specialists, minimum 2. And what I'll be doing is I will be seeing how tenets of culturally relevant pedagogy, culturally sustaining pedagogy, culturally responsive pedagogy, even some abolitionist teaching and other critical education theories, where those tenets show up and how they interact with teachers and support them in mathematics instruction. So one of the reasons why this is so important to me is because I can remember being a fifth grader in South DeKalb County, and my first culturally relevant teacher was a young lady by the name of Mrs. Inghauser. She was blonde hair, blue eyed lady, one of the only white teachers in our building. But besides her physical aesthetic, you would have never known that because of how much she not only poured into us, but was so interested in our lived experiences, whether it be our backgrounds, our culture, our community, even though how she grew up was completely different than how we did. I don't even think she was from the South. Um, but every time we had a learning experience from with her, it was rooted in things that we were into. It would be something as simple as the fact that during after school dismissal, while we're waiting on our buses or waiting to be dismissed, she would always allow us to come up and tell jokes. And back then, like Comic View was really popular. So we would a lot of times tell jokes from Comic View, where she had to let us know, like, y'all can tell them, but you have to make them appropriate. But it was so popular amongst us that she started watching Comic View, and she actually thought it was really funny, especially when they made jokes about white people, which is interesting. Or the time that we did a debate, and it was during the presidential election of um, Bill Clinton was, or Bill Clinton and Bob Dole, I believe, were running against each other. And she set up the classroom like one half of the class for Clinton, the other half of the class for Bob Dole. And we had to go home, research. And for some reason, in my mind, I was a self proclaimed Republican at 10 years old in South DeKalb County, right? Go figure. Not anymore. But I was on the side of Bob Dole, and I was literally the only person in my class. But I actually won that debate because I remember her telling us, like, these are not your opinions, these are not your parents' opinions. You need to debate based off facts. She was teaching us how to be really good debaters. And so I won the debate, and my mom helped me research, which in hindsight, she's the true GOAT because she definitely was not a Bob Dole fan at all. But she helped me prepare it because it was important for prepare for it because it was important for me to do well. And so just bringing experiences to us like that, and I could go on and on about so many things Ms. Enghauser did. And in hindsight, like now that I'm in this program, I realized that what she was being was culturally relevant. And so I think about if every teacher that every student encountered was that thoughtful and that interested in their backgrounds, their experiences, their culture, their community, how much more colorful the learning experience would be, how much more relatable it would be, and how we would engage all students. So when we think about the type of student I'm speaking about, it's really most kids, right? It's kids who have been traditionally marginalized. It's students that have been traditionally minoritized. They're, of course, Black students, brown students, Muslim students, so students who are of a faith that we know that is not um, of the Western norm, Muslim, Buddhist. I can go on and on, right? Um, Students that are a part of the LGBTQIA plus community, as well as students who are from lower socioeconomic status, and of course, our students with disabilities. So they're just students that are not a part of the majority. But when we think about all of those subgroups, right, that really is America. So it's not just always race, it's so much more and so deeper. And I really want to know how coaches, specialists, people who are seen as um, experts, right, in math, how they conceptualize these tenets, or if they do, which I have a feeling, I may get a case or two, a participant or two that does not at all, which says a lot about the work. So that is my topic. I am, like I said, I have about 50% of chapter 2 done, editing chapter 3. Chapter 1 is done. Going up for proposal. I'll actually be looking at potential participants in a Metro Atlanta school district. I'm excited about that. I have an amazing dissertation team. My chair is absolutely amazing. I'm so blessed to have her, as well as my methodologists and my readers. And so that is life uh, as Ashley knows it right now. One of the things that I did want to talk about in this vlog that I talked about in the first draft that the audio was messed up was questions that I'm asked, okay? And things that annoy me when people ask me certain questions. So I get quite a few questions from people, whether it's coworkers, whether it's like clients or teachers at different schools that I go to about my PhD, whether it's my topic, my process, working and obtaining it, all of that. And sometimes, most of the time, the questions are very thoughtful and people are just wanting to know. Other times, they can be annoying. Okay. So I want to talk about a few things. So one of the main questions that I get a lot of times, not necessarily from people who are really interested in the process, but more so about people that are kind of being nosy, like sometimes coworkers, is what are you going to do with your degree? What are you going to do with it? And so I get that question a lot because in education, particularly in K-12 education, as educators, we know as you get a degree, then you make more money, right? So a lot of industries is like that, but education is very cut and dry. Like once you get a master's, you get what we call a step up, and then you're on a different pay level based off your years of experience and your degree. Specialist, you're on another step up. Doctorate, you're on the highest step and level. So for me to now have, as y'all may or may not know, I transitioned from K-12 education, so essentially working in a school for a decade, set schedule Monday through Friday. I transitioned from that world to educational technology, or ed tech, back in March of 2022, last year. So, which ed tech is just corporate America. I mean, it's corporate America where you have a lot of educators that work there now, former educators. So, um, it's different in corporate America. You don't necessarily get, or you really don't get a raise or you get a promotion because you have a degree. It doesn't work like that. You don't make more money because you have a degree. I could go out for a job right now versus next year when I finish. And as long as I can prove that I have the skill set, and most importantly, that I bring value enough to that position and to the company to increase our bottom line, if I'm just being completely transparent, because it's corporate. So it's very much so revenue driven. We need to make money to stay afloat. Then I could get that job. So I don't have to necessarily finish my PhD to be able to get another position in corporate America. So I say that to say that I get that question a lot, particularly from my colleagues. And sometimes they ask because they genuinely want to know. And other times they ask because they're like, why are you stressing yourself out? You already make good money. And I kind of understand both sentiments. What I will say, though, is that what one of the main reasons why I decided to get my PhD is not attached to money. So when you in when you get a professional degree, a doctorate, a medical, a MD, a JD, Doctor of Veterinary Science, any type of professional degree, you are now you now open yourself up to occupy spaces that you would have not been able to occupy previously. That is something that I learned in education. You are able to occupy spaces and places and have different types of conversations with people who are the leaders in education because they are the researchers that you are not able to have prior to not going through this process. That's one of the main reasons, because for me it's bigger than finishing and then being done. I want to eventually take my work and turn it into a book, or maybe even some type of research or guidance to really think about this topic and support the future of mathematics education. And so for me, it's bigger than just, does it equate to more money? Then, of course, one of the other reasons is that I want to eventually transition to higher education, whether it be part time, full time, and really teach mathematics teachers. And I want to do that because it is important that I take what I've learned in my research and help to impact and support and grow other teachers. Because right now, as many of us know, the state of education is, it's a struggle, and we don't have a lot of teachers, and that is something that I want to make sure that I contribute to. So for me, it's bigger than it equating to more money. I'm in a place where I make very good money, decent money. I'm able to live a really nice lifestyle. I'm not rich by any means, so don't none of y'all be trying to check for me about some money because I don't have it, okay? But I'm able to really stay afloat and do pretty well for myself. So because of that, making more money is fine, but that's not the bottom line. If I stay in ed tech, I'll make more money. And I do well here in this space. So that's not it. I think for me, it's way bigger than that. It's leaving an impact on education, and it's about legacy, right? Like, what do I want to leave to make my mark on this world so that it is better? And part of it is my research. So when people ask, what do you want to do with it? That's really the answer. But the short answer, of course, is usually teaching in higher ed. Sometimes I say too, I may want to open up my own consulting business, but that's it. Um, so that is what's been going on with me. I'm not gonna promise. I am going to try to do vlogs every month because I do want to not only be connected with people who um, are along with me on this journey, but also too I want to create like a video diary that I can always look back on um, and reflect on this experience. So that is something that I definitely want to do. And so the goal is to make update videos and monthly blogs, but also too, as you're watching this, by any means, leave me feedback, questions, give me topic ideas. I would absolutely love to be able to talk about different things. I get questions all the time from people, and I sometimes just forget them. So in the comments of this video, make sure that you are leaving me feedback and asking me questions and give me topic ideas because I do want to be able to um, give advice or just talk freely about different things and different experiences as it relates to this process. So thank you all so much for tuning in. I am back. I promise I am. My course load is not too heavy this semester, so I'm doing an internship and I'm doing a dissertation class, which is me working on my proposal. So I should be good for this semester, hopefully. But I am going to keep updating you all. So by next time I make a video, I would have defended my proposal and I'm ready to submit my IRBs and get into the schools and collect data. So like this video, leave comments, give me some topics you would like for me to talk about, and I'll talk to y'all later. Have a good one. Thanks for listening. Bye.